evening. It's 6:08 on Monday, April 10th, and this is a meeting of the Community and Economic Development Committee. My name is Jeff Schilling. I'm the chair. I have Mrs. Sneed to my right, and Mr. Pierce is on his way. We are here tonight to provide a recommendation to council regarding Ordinance O-16-2023, rezone 1271 Bruckner Drive from M2 to PD1, approve the general plan of Troy Storage Inns of America, Plan Development Industrial. And so we are ready to discuss that. Mr. Titter, you going to help us with that one?
So we had a council held a public hearing as required by local ordinance on April 3rd. There were no comments. The request is to change to a PD or a plan development. Given the fact that there are 7 buildings now, they want to expand by another 5 buildings. I believe those buildings predated the plan development process, and so now they're cleaning things up and becoming conforming. The area around Bruckner is compatible with the storage units, and the Planning Commission did unanimously recommend approval of the rezoning and the approval of the general plan.
Okay.
And we are not asking for emergency legislation.
Great. Mrs. Sneed, do you have any questions?
Just want to be sure if I'm understanding this correctly. This would be the maximum number of buildings they could put on this property?
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to be sure this would be it.
I had a question. In the information that we got, one of the things that was talked about was open space. And the proposed development currently does not meet the 10% open space requirement set forth by the zoning code for this particular property. And my question is I guess, why is that not important? I mean, what's the purpose of what is the purpose of the open space, and why does this? I mean, if they built 4 buildings, would they then meet the open space requirements instead of 5?
Open space is for recreational use. In the plan development, it talks about plan developments in the industrial district would see a waiver or a removal of the 10% as opposed to residential plan developments. So usually you do 10% for parkland, but in this case, industrial plan development is not really required, or the comp plan says that industrial open space can be waived through the PD process, essentially with approval of Planning Commission and City Council, and that's what they've done.
So what you're telling me, open space in an industrial area is not that big of a deal?
That is correct. Typically, you don't want to mix parks. You don't want to mix residential homes or parks and semi-trucks, right? You want to keep those separate, and that's what the plan development is intending to do. There's no reason to enjoy open space when it's, in this case, storage units. Okay, so when a subdivision or plan development unit or plan development, when they have the ability to pay money in lieu of park space, is this going to happen with this particular piece of property? They would not pay fees in lieu of with this particular property. Again, because we don't want to have parkland or require the parkland in the industrial section. It states that in the zoning code that says industrial plan developments may receive waiver of the 10% open space requirements. If we ask them for 10%, and then they decided to waive it, we'd get money, right?
No, that's only in residential subdivisions or PD residentials, because then they would pay per lot or per home that's built. So it's specific to the residential zoning districts.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Thank you. Anybody see Mr. Pierce? Welcome to our committee meeting tonight.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Did you have any questions on the first item on our agenda, rezoning issue? No? Any other council members have a question on this? Anybody in the audience? Okay, what's our druthers here? Should we proceed? I think we can go ahead and proceed with this. Okay, let's see what we got next here. Item number 2 is provide a recommendation to council regarding the recommendation from the Troy Planning Commission for the first plat approval of Halifax Estate subdivision section 6 and the dedication of right-of-way.
So this is not the first plat, this is the final plat approval, as opposed to the preliminary plat. This was actually recommended on January 11th by the Planning Commission, but the condition was that before it proceeded to council, they needed to have an escrow agreement, which is something we require for every section that comes through. For whatever reason, the developer has just now submitted that, so they're ready to go. This is section 6. It's either of 6 sections or 7 sections total. I think we're getting close to the end.
Near the end,
So there are 11 acres, there's 7 building lots, and there's dedication of approximately 1.2 acres of right-of-way. I believe that this property does have park fees in lieu of dedicated parkland green space. And so those fees are collected every lot that's built and every and sold, and they go into Fund 228, which is Park and Recreation Capital Fund.
Okay.
And we are not asking for emergency legislation.
Questions from the committee? No questions? I have no questions. Any other council members? No, nothing there. Anybody in the audience? Okay, seeing no questions, what's our druthers here? You want to move forward as suggested? Is that okay, Mr. Pearson?
Yep.
Okay, we can move forward on this. Is there any other business before the committee tonight?
No, sir.
Okay, I think we can stand adjourned.
Thank you.